In this war, most Syrian Christians have chosen silence or the regime. At St. George's Church in Skalbiye, Nabil al-Abdallah, the local commander, is proud that his mostly Christian town has had a bishop since the 4th century. And he's proud that in the fight to end the rebellion in Idlib, Christians from Skalbiye are on the front line. The guns are silent for now because Turkey and Russia want to set up a demilitarized zone to separate the regime and its enemies. On the other side are Islamist fighting groups. Nabil, the Christian commander, says they're all dangerous fanatics, taking orders from Western intelligence services, including Britain's. He says the jihadist extremists have a choice: give up their ideology or be killed.
No deals?
No. No, they are terrorists. When they become humans, we will make a deal with them. And we will do a deal when Europe and America stop their support and the Gulf countries stop funding them and putting the jihadi ideology in their heads.
We drove along the front line around Idlib province. Village after village is in ruins. Half Syria's population have lost their homes. The regime denies accusations that its forces are the biggest killers. The next stop was Sinjar, one more badly damaged ghost town. Government forces pushed jihadists of the Nusra Front out of here earlier this year. At the school, newly reopened, the ministry was delivering supplies. The regime wants to show it's getting the country back. In the classroom are children too young to remember peace. Only 100 families have come back to Sinjar. For children who've seen a lot of war, the school is a bright spot. For a moment, Sinjar's wrecked main street was busy before they melted away into the empty, damaged town. Ghazal has just started at the school. With her family, she arrived from Idlib only 10 days ago, a place of bad memories. One day, jihadist fighters came to their house. Her father, Abu Fayyad, said they killed his son Aboudi because his mother was an Alawi from the same sect as the president and from the Alawi heartland.
I have a son. His mother is from Latakia. I sent his mother with her kids back there at the beginning of the crisis. He was 14 years old, so he stayed with me. They cut his head off in front of me, in my house in Abu Dur. He was 14 years old. They cut off his head because his mother was from Latakia.
Driving through this part of Syria, from military positions to broken towns, in the rubble and pain, an ending is in sight. The rebels are almost beaten. Reopening this highway, the M5, is part of the plan to avoid a last battle in Idlib. This is Syria's main north-south route, cut by rebels in Idlib since early in the war. After all the years of killing and destruction, President Assad and his allies are close to victory. But the president will never be able to say that he's restored sovereignty to the whole country while this road is still cut. That's why reopening it has become one of his major strategic priorities, and it's shared by the Russians as well. This is as far as you can go up the highway on the regime side, the last Syrian army post, looking across a territory held by the rebels. If the demilitarized zone doesn't work, the regime, the Russians and the Iranians might launch the offensive so feared by Idlib's 3 million civilians. Then there's the future. Not deadly like a war, but not cozy or reassuring. Jeremy Bowen, BBC News, on the Idlib front line.